Controllers have some of the most stressful jobs in the U.S., and based on some late-breaking information, it was likely even higher last night at Reagan National before that collision.
Yeah, Steve Wolford continues our coverage now from over at the live desk with more on some critical staffing issues that, Steve, are now coming to light.
Yes, they certainly are. NBC News has confirmed that the FAA says staffing in the tower at Reagan National last night was, quoting now, not normal. So what does that mean? Usually at Reagan National, one flight controller is assigned to planes and a second controller takes helicopters. Last night, however, only one controller was handling both. That is allowed under FAA rules, but it'll raise questions about staffing as this investigation moves forward. Pilot and aviation expert Reed Yadon says adequate tower staffing can be difficult, especially with a nationwide shortage of flight controllers.
I don't know what the case was last night, but it's like any business. It presents a problem and you have to keep the business operating, and you figure out ways to deal with it, either in hiring practices or staffing practices and so on and so forth, work shifts and the like.
Yadon flew into and out of Reagan National many times as a commercial pilot and says that airport handles over 800 flights a day. That's a little more than one every 2 minutes around the clock. Even so, Southwest Airlines recently won approval to begin additional nonstop service between Washington, D.C. and Las Vegas. That request was granted by the Department of Transportation, even though many aviation experts say Reagan National is maxed out. Adding more flights at Reagan has been a huge issue in recent months, even drawing a joint statement from 4 Democratic U.S. Senators, Mark Warner, Tim Kaine, Ben Cardin, and Chris Van Hollen. That said in part, as we have said countless times before, DCA's runway is already the busiest in the country, forcing the airport to cram additional flights in its already crowded schedule will further strain its resources at a time when air traffic controllers are overburdened and exhausted, working 10-hour days 6 days a week. At the same time, the New York Times reported that in 2023, a number of federal lawmakers lobbied for 28 additional round-trip flights out of Reagan to make it easier for them to fly back and forth to their home states. At the time, the FAA warned against that. And consider this, last year alone, Reagan National reported at least 8 near midair collisions. That's it from the live desk. Back to you.
All right, Steve, thank you so much.